Hi guys, I'm Taniyaa and welcome back to my channel, The Donkey Business. I have watched a lot of movies in the past 5 days and I have a bunch of recommendations that I am working on currently for everyone. But today I just wanted to recommend 5 random movies of different genres. And yeah, these are my recommendations and welcome to my channel. The first movie that I want to talk about is called An Education. It is a rom-com coming of age 2009 drama romantic movie and it had really high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes and very good reviews online, so I just got into the film without any expectations. Honestly, it was a very good surprise. The movie is basically about this A-grade teenage student and she wishes to go to Oxford. She totally deserves to go there. She's an amazing student. But then she randomly meets a man who she kind of starts having feelings for and falls in love with eventually. But the man is her father's age and she loves his charm. She is all about him, about his friends, about his life, and in that process she forgets about her dreams, about what she wants to do, about how ambitious she is. And the movie is basically about how she goes through that entire phase of life. Is it worth it to leave all her dreams behind where she is so talented for a man who she doesn't even know if she has a future with? The movie is about that journey and I really loved it. It's got very mature writing. I mean, like, the girl is really young, but the way they've showed that character is very good. I think the screenplay is very interesting and I really enjoyed watching it. I highly recommend it and it's called An Education. The second documentary that I want to talk about is called The Speed Cubers. I am currently learning the Rubik's Cube and I can do it in under 3 minutes. However, I get stuck in the last step, like the top layer, so I'm still working on it, but the initial part I'm like really good at it. So I've learned the algorithms and I understand how it works. It's very interesting, very addictive. So while I was on Netflix, I just came across this 40-minute documentary called The Speed Cubers, which is about the 2 best cubers in the world who are basically world champions, like several-time world champions. Their name is Max and Felix and they are so good at what they do. The documentary follows them and they are rivals, right? Because they're both fighting to be world champion and they're still best friends. They like support each other. They want each other to win if the first one is losing, and they have a very mature relation, but still their mindset is just like a sportsman. And these 40 minutes were definitely inspirational, emotional and informative. I really enjoyed watching it and it was something very random that I found on Netflix. So if you're looking to watch something fun but also learn something new, then The Speed Cubers is exactly what you should watch. The third recommendation that I have is another movie that I watched on Netflix called Blonde. The entire world knows who Marilyn Monroe is. She was one of the biggest superstars that the world has ever seen and one of the most iconic women who literally changed the history of a lot of things, and especially being who she is. Basically, the movie revolves around her life. We know that Marilyn Monroe was an icon, but what we see on the media is that actually what their life is all about. The movie is about the rise and fall of her and ultimately her really sad demise. But the Netflix movie failed to capture my attention and I did not like the movie at all. There was something missing in the movie and honestly I kept on watching it because I wanted to know what ultimately happened, because there were still a few things that I was learning for the first time, so it was interesting in that way, but I did not feel the movie at all. I think that the storytelling didn't have a good connection. It was a bit absurd and very confusing and they tried a new style, but I don't personally feel that it worked for the film. There are a few other documentaries on Marilyn Monroe as well, and if you already know about her story, then I don't highly recommend this film because it is just blah. But yeah, this is something that I recently watched on Netflix. The next drama series that I want to recommend is called Little Women, which comes from South Korea. It's also available on Netflix and it's based on 3 sisters who come from like a not very relatively rich background, like probably lower middle class, and they get into this whole war with the ultimate rich. Every episode has like so many twists and turns and the drama is just insane. And yeah, there were some times in the series where I was just like, okay, you know what, this is a bit too much and now maybe it's getting a bit boring. But the way the episodes would end, I would just want to go back to the episode and see what's happening. It's like interesting in a very peculiar peculiar way. And honestly, like, I was immersed in the series and I didn't even realize how immersed I was, because I would wake up thinking about them. I would just like stalk them on Instagram, seeing what they're doing now, what the filmmaker has made before, and it just became a part of my life at the time I was binge watching it. And the actors have done a very good job. The writing is really dramatic and I really love this K-drama. I'm not a very K-drama person, like I watch every now and then, but this one I enjoyed a lot. It's called Little Women. It's on Netflix and I highly recommend it. The next movie that I want to talk about is an old film. It's called Remains of the Day. Anthony Hopkins is in the movie and it is like a war drama love story film, but it's not a proper war film. The movie is based on a love story, but it has a whole war situation in the background and in the second half of the film. Basically, it's about Anthony Hopkins, who's a really good butler and very like professional in what he does. He loves what he does, and even his father used to do that, and he works in the high society. And over there's another girl who works with him and he falls in love with her, but he's very bad in expressing his feelings, and she's just waiting for him to like say I love you so that she can just be with him, but he's not doing that, so she's confused. And then he realizes that his boss is basically a Nazi sympathizer, so he's just like shattered and shocked and doesn't know how to react in that situation, so he becomes even more aloof from whatever he's going through in life. And you know, it's that, and it's like a very underlying film, like, you know, like unsaid words, unsaid feelings. It's not like an in-the-face film, but it's still interesting in a few ways, because it's also old. You see a few things for the first time cinematically, so that's something I liked. But the movie personally did not work for me. I am not into such kind of movies. Maybe that's why, or I'm like probably immature for such mature films. I don't know what the issue was. It's a good film, but I was not into it. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're into such films, you should watch it. It's got really high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's 97% or something. So it's a good film, but not for me. However, you should, I mean, like, I recommend it. It's called Remains of the Day. And so these are 5 random recommendations I have from like different genres. I really enjoyed watching this content and I hope you will watch it too. Let me know what you want me to talk about in the comments below, and I will see you very soon. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram with the same name as well.